Hi everybody, good morning. It is Sunday, the 20th of October here today, so the 19th in the rest of the world. Some of you might be sleeping. First of all, humble apologies. I got the dates wrong on my newsletter. Somebody very kindly brought this to my attention in Australia because I'd said and communicated Sunday. Which I forget is Monday in the rest of the world. My Monday, Sunday in the UK, United States, and I'll put the different time zones here for the Council of Eight community. So I just wanted to apologize about that. It's something that I've got to be more consciously aware of. So as you can see, it's a beautiful day here in Nelson, New Zealand. That there is the centre of New Zealand. And there's actually a plaque up there. It's a beautiful walk to go up, and it's a beautiful day, and I thought we'd just hang out here on my deck. I got a bit of a fright, truth time, because I pulled my lily white legs out, and I got a bit of a fright because I was like, oh my god. First of all, they're very white, a little bit, almost as white as the shirt. Ain't going to show you guys. And then I realized that I had a bit of a winter haze happening down there. Yes. Normally I'm quite pedantic about shaving my legs, and I kind of forgot. For those of you who don't shave, that's all okay. I'm not here to judge anybody. It's just something that I have this thing about hair. I don't know why, but I always have. But anyway, even my husband was like, ew, what's happening? So white and hairy, not ideal. Anyway, I'm digressing. How are you all feeling? This full moon, most certainly, as it always does, I think I got to, because we had full moon here on Thursday, and I thought, wow, I got through that one. Wow, that's awesome. Friday started feeling a bit funky. And I know that this is part of what we are having to work through and having to shift. And I don't know where you're at in your ascension process or your working through your own space of enlightenment. In my perception of life, when we're in our enlightened being, we're back. We leave this physical form and we're back in the light. And I've most certainly in the last few days been feeling, I just found myself bringing up some really old thought patterns. And I was like, shit, man, I've been in such a good space, and now this has come up again. Anyway, rejection is what I was feeling. What else were my feelings? Rejection, alone, sense of alone, sense of feeling alone, just kind of separated, really separated. And I thought, no, Michelle, everything's in the connection of oneness. And I went and I worked in my garden, and I thought, this is what will bring me back into my space of connection again. It was really, really awesome, just planting a few little plants. And the other thing I've come to discover is there's quite a few people that are going through these ascension processes where they have vertigo. So let me know if you have vertigo or not. It's been quite fascinating, some severe cases of vertigo. And to those of you who have been feeling it, I feel for you guys. I believe it's not a nice process to go through. I today have been feeling like this, almost like my voice has been taken away from me. And which I know is not true because here I am speaking to you guys, but it definitely feels like we're in this, again, a holding space. And with this full moon, it was pretty close to the earth. And we know that we're going through a deregulation, a discombobulation. Many of us are being called to shift really quickly. And it feels uncomfortable. When I caught myself with these old thoughts, I was like, really? And I hope you can hear the kid in the background. Because that's who we once were, all of us. And we forget how to be children. So over the last week, I've been hearing a lot of people say they feel stuck, they feel alone, like I say, rejection, just this separation that separates us from our hearts, from our space of connection. Now, if you're working through trauma, it could feel a lot more intense. It could feel devastating. And I believe that we're all working through a level and a layer of trauma in terms of going through this massive upgrade. And the upgrades are continuously happening. So for myself, being very sensitive, I could feel we had solar flares on the South Island and beautiful aurora lights, but I could feel this tick, 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 tick in my body and in my hands. So I either walk or I go, like I say, grounding is very important for me. And it's just a learning, guys. Being on this earth plane is all a learning. And I believe we've got to make it as fun as we possibly can. Catch yourself. Like I said to my husband, it's just a moment. I'm having a moment. And we've got to catch ourselves in those moments, become the observer, and then say, alrighty, that's it. That's the feeling. Own the feeling. Take a few breaths and then breathe out the feeling. And then bring yourself back. Bring yourself back. That's what we could keep doing, is bringing ourselves back. Now, for those of you in the UK, I can only well imagine, and the rest of the world actually, now that I think about it, the death of this beautiful gentleman from One Direction, Liam. Gosh, my heart just went out to him and his family. It's tragic. Super, super, super tragic. And we feel that, we feel that gravitational pull towards the heartache for him and what was shown in the last few days. And if you listen to I got stuck down a wormhole with this whole Diddy story, and I was like, what? Why am I so connected into this? Well, I'm making myself connected into it. It's a choice. But I know I watched something at the beginning of the year. I don't know if it was myself. I don't think it was me, or the Council of Eight when I channeled. But I know I watched something about Hollywood being kind of pulled. It might have been Bashar, but Hollywood was going to be shown. And we know that there's a lot of darkness in Hollywood. We know that. Again, it's the duality of what there's the beauty of what it offers, the movies, the make-believe, and then there's the reality, the real reality of what's hiding behind the scenes. So again, it was a choice for me. I found myself in it, and then I was like, okay, Michelle, enough. You don't need to go down this wormhole any longer. And we've got to catch ourselves. We've got to catch ourselves becoming observers. Now, something that I've been working in my business self with is launching a new website with my husband. And shit, man alive, it's an incredible work of multi-levels, changes, frustration, irritation. I change my mind because I think of this, but I'm very visual, so I've got to see it, and then I've got to sit with it, and then I've got to change it, but I feel it in my heart. And that's what it gets quicker and quicker and quicker. So it's just, think of life like a website is what I'm trying to say, and how life is, it's this rebuilding, and we're rebuilding, and we're rebuilding. And we know that this 2024, we were shown by the Council of Eight at the beginning of this year, that it's intense. It's a big year. 2025, it's going to get more intense, and then it will settle. And we've got to settle our nervous systems. We've got to settle ourselves as much as we can. So we go off out of alignment and we come back. And I most certainly, and I'm going to always be truthful in how I feel, because feelings for me are my navigation. I used to sit in my feelings. I used to become like in my feelings and just let them just play themselves out. And now I'm like, okay, there it is. I have a little moment, and it could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes. But what I found in the superficial bypassing that a lot of people are doing is that a lot of us that are on these journeys, and I used to be one of these people like, no, everything's fine, everything's love and light, and the reality is we're always in a process of, how can I say this, in a process of letting go. We've got trillions of cells, guys, and every cell has a memory, but we don't have to sit in it. And that's the beauty of accessing and working with your trauma. Working with where you've come from, who you are, what you're holding on to, your intergenerational trauma, is it gets lighter. I used to be a very heavy person in myself, in my body, in my aura. I used to think that I was fine and I had all my shit together. No. I can now tell you that you get to a space where you're just like, there it is. Wow, I'm feeling it. Breathe it out. And then it's like, okay, get back into the present, get back to the present. As Eckhart Tolle says, the power of now, the power of now. And it takes practice. It takes practice to bring yourself back to the power of now. Like I was sitting and I said to my husband, we've got the Council of Eight community on tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. New Zealand time. And it is, I'll tell you the rest of the world. Okay, let me give you the rest of the time zones, and I hope you guys can join us, okay? Pacific Daytime, 11 a.m. Mountain, 12 p.m. United Kingdom, 7 p.m. Central European, 8 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight, 2 p.m. South Africa, you would be 8 p.m. I think it is, or 7 p.m. Perth and Hong Kong, very, very early in the morning. Australia, very, very early. So sorry, guys, you won't be able to join us. But I was saying to him, like, I've got to go put something out there, and we were going to tweak the newsletter and change the newsletter. And thank you to Dan for sharing some other options. I'm really learning in stepping into this different process of uncomfortability, and that's me becoming the observer. And then I was like, my mantra to myself is, suck it up, buttercup, suck it up, buttercup. And I thought, it's such a beautiful day. Let me come and sit outside and share this beautiful day with you guys. Because I know, I've heard from quite a few of you that you live in amazing cities where there's a thump, where there's a pump, where there's a vibe, and you might not have nature on your doorstep like I do. So, it's becoming consciously aware of that too. I had a client here the other day, a Maori, beautiful Maori woman, and listen to how spirit directed her. So I had a live event, a mediumship event 2 weeks ago, and she had come in, and she was coming to a Labour Party evening, because we have Labour and we have National in New Zealand. And she came in and I was like, no, this is a mediumship event. She's like, oh, what's that? So I spoke to her a little bit more, not knowing her background or where she was at in her journey of life. And she said, oh, I'm gonna stay. I was like, oh, that's wonderful. Anyway, she came for a one-on-one session, an in-person session. And it was fascinating to learn more about her culture, because again, there's separation in cultures. And she was talking about how the tribes, there's quite a few different tribes. I don't know how many tribes here in New Zealand, but there's quite a few different Maori tribes. But this one behaves like this one has a belief system like that one has certain values, that one has certain values. And I just said to her, isn't what's being projected onto you as a human being still creating separation? And she went, wow, I never thought of it like that. So do you see how we're all in a phase of learning? We're all in a phase of letting go. We're all in a phase of life in a tuning. We're tuning. Actually, I've got my Egyptian shirt on today. So just take a look. See where you focus on. I think most of us have had a lifetime in Egypt. And just see which symbol you focus on. And that's something that I've definitely felt a call to, is to share more about my Egyptian trip. So watch this space, and I'll share more photos and more stories around that, because there were some incredible moments for me and the rest of the group, but I'll share my experiences. So guys, I just wanted to share with you, just stay into your hearts. For those of you who are feeling pulled, for those of you who are feeling discombobulated, for those of you who are feeling whatever you're feeling, allow it, feel it, drop into the body, feel where your body's showing you what you're holding on to. And I highly recommend Human Garage for any stiffness in the body, any pain in the body. It's something I always go back to myself when I'm feeling contraction, when I'm feeling that there's some stiffness. The body likes to move. The body likes to move. You know, I sit so much. So at the end of the day, I've got to pace at the end of the day. You know, I've got to go for a walk and I've got to move my body. Our bodies like to move, guys. So find movement, you know, however you choose to move. Watch children once again. They move all the time. And we got to bring back our childlike essence inside of us. So just remember, these masters that brought all these symbols, they tapped into something, they tapped into the universal consciousness, which is, I don't think in my lifetime I'll ever understand it. Ever. Like we're all trying to surmise, how were they built? What did they do? Magic, guys. Magic. Pure magic. Mystical. So tap into your magic, whatever your magic is today. And know that love is why we are here. We're here because we know. We have this knowing. We do. And my hope is that you're able to join us tomorrow morning, the Council of Eight, community gathering. Let's bring the love. Let's bring the hope. Let's bring the love. Let's bring the togetherness. And they will share a message, come with a question, all time allowing. That didn't make sense, sorry. Time allowing. That we're able to, in every little moment, every group is important. Every group that comes together to shift their energy, to shift the energy collectively, brings a space of wholeness and brings a space of openness. So from my heart to yours, I love you, and I'm so grateful for our community that are here on YouTube, that are here on Instagram, that are here on Facebook. I'm really and truly grateful. I sometimes have to sit and pinch myself as to how I got here. And here is where I'm at. So thank you to all of you, and may you have the most beautiful, blessed day. Fill yourself up with love in some profound, magical way, whatever that is. Whether it be an ice cream, whether it be a walk, whether it be just this moment. And please go and book in on www.michellecarpenter.co.nz. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. And again, remember, love is why we are here. Okay, I need to work on that. Have a beautiful day, guys. And you know what's going to happen, eh? Because I'm sitting in the sunshine, I always just check all my wrinkles. I'm like, oh my word. Anyway, judgment time. But let's end it off with a pause, coming back into your heart. And just breathe in love and breathe out love to someone that you feel may need it right now in this moment. Thank you so much for all of you showing up. I love you. Bye, guys.